right, good morning, everyone. Super excited to talk about the topic today. Just recently, uh, the NYPD came out and said that they are going to start developing an augmented reality application, which is pretty cool. So, we're going to run through that today. For those of you that don't know, I am Rob Petrosino, Synth Reality Tech Talk. What we're here to talk about is emerging technologies, the application for organizations, and how it's going to affect you in the future. Make sure you follow the socials down at the bottom of the screen or connect with us on LinkedIn or YouTube. All right, with that, let's transition. We're going to do this one real fast today. So, NYPD Commissioner reveals plan to use a smartphone app and new cameras. Let's run through the camera stuff first. So the cameras that they're going to use are specifically related to the top of their brand new cars. So the new electric vehicles that the NYPD are going to be using are going to have rotating 360-degree cameras. It is a blueprint for the future of technology related to the implementation of within the NYPD. They want to be able to produce videos of the officer field work and also see how it's going to be impacting the overall process for people to go through as they are Leos or people that are affected by this. What's also really interesting is there seems to be a little bit of a differentiating opinion between the police commissioner, NYPD Police Commissioner Sewell and Eric Adams, the mayor. So let's just kind of dive into that for a second. Eric Adams has basically said that security and protection and the police force's primary concern for NYC and something that he's going to put on board. And the obviously the police commissioner is fine with that portion of it, but their differentiating opinion on facial recognition, what they call out in here. So it sounds like Mayor Adams is 100% in favor of using facial recognition and the ability to use that software to boost and solve crimes that will hopefully not trample, civil rights, but to be determined on that regard of things. What I wanted to call out before we get too far into that portion of facial recognition is this idea of an AR app. So the AR app would use augmented reality technology to superimpose computer-generated images over the real ones, right? That is just augmented reality, nothing crazy there. It would also recognize that smartphones we give to our officers can do much more. In the future, augmented reality application will assist our officers known conditions, wanted subject hazards in real time by simply holding up their phone and location. What's interesting is they go on to talk about how civilians will also have access to an application that can be used to document accidents or issues or crime or report different things. So it's interesting that they're using this dual-sided. What's also interesting is that all this data that they have is going to be held somewhere and then transposed or encrypted and then pushed into the officer's field of view using a smartphone. What's interesting is that they specifically call out smartphone. They don't talk about head-mounted displays, but it is something that might be used in the future here. But I think that may be too far for most of the people that are in these positions. What's also really interesting is they go on to talk about the Donna Lieberman, excuse me, goes on to talk about who runs the New York Civil Liberties Union, goes on to talk about how facial recognition is already rampant and also misused and one of the most invasive policing tactics in our time, and how it could be really, really detrimental to others that are around them. So, super interesting article. Really interesting to see that there is the use of augmented reality, potentially in the near future for those that are interested in using it at the NYPD and what data would be viewed. I can imagine that someone who pulls up to an accident or an incident report, an officer pulls up to that, holds up their phone and is able to see, all the other incidences that have been called in or could be called in. Might be, some privacy issues in that regard. But it's interesting to also see that this is already getting challenged by the New York Civil Liberties Union. So good things all around. It's nice to see the pushing of technology. It is a little bit scary. It is a little minority reportish that the new cars will have rotating 360-degree cameras on it and be able to capture information. Although police cars already have license plate scanners and the like, and they only call out smartphones for augmented reality. However, it's very easy to see the transition to move into, just wearing a headset. So that's our quick podcast today. Have to give you guys the news, have to tell you what's going on. If you're interested in this type of content or interested in these types of pieces of information, reach out, follow us on the social media channels. Sorry about the crazy lighting today, but it is a beautiful, shining day where I'm at. So check us out, follow us, like, comment, share this with people, and tell me what you think. You think it's a good idea, bad idea that they're going to have AR? And what do you think about the facial recognition play here? Is it something that's going to create more issues than not, right? It's definitely going to be highly debated, that's for sure. The one thing that I'll kind of close out with is the more adoption of technology that happens, the more we have to be aware of what data and information that is being transcribed or captured from those devices. So always keep that in the back of your mind. But that being said, this is the Synth Reality Tech Talk. I'm Rob Petrosino, a futurist, overall great guy, and one who will always comment on emerging technologies. I appreciate you guys coming in, and I will chat with you all very, very soon.